Hi, people. So, as I promised, I'm here back with the video related to the collective dreams. Before starting to share with you the dreams, I would love to share a little bit about dream time and why it would be important to pay more attention to it and to not to give more credit to our dreams. Sometimes we can have dreams for the personal on the personal level, but sometimes you can have dreams with messages for the collective, for the community. And I would love to actually, I'm going back a little bit in time to our always like the best thing to go back to our ancestors where they started. They were pretty much like even we can look back in history, in ancient times, people were living in communities and they were more like connected to their true divine power, and they were more like connected to Mother Nature. And with this, they more trusted their intuition, their feelings, their visions, their dreams, because those were their compass in life. That really helped them to flow through life with an ease. Not just that, but also when any kind of danger was happening in the community, like maybe 2, 3, I'm just saying an example, 2, 3 days before, they could receive messages or dreams that something will happen in the community. Let's say somebody will invade your community or somebody wants to occupy your community. So people in this way could be prepared or at least not be taken as a surprise. And with this, what I would love to share is that many times, even at appointments, when I'm asking people, are you dreaming like through night? Or do you have dreams or symbols which are keep coming back? And what I see usually that we don't give credit to our dreams and that's okay, because we were not educated and we were not educated and raised like that to pay attention, because they can hold messages for us. And with this, like, I'm going back to why I create this video, because last week I had 2 dreams related to soldiers who were shooting on people, and related to like people who were very, very panicked and desperate in a way. And this really made me think, and usually I'm doing this in shamanism since I started my shamanic path, that I'm also, when I'm having like a dream from the collective, let's say on the collective level more so, I'm also curious if any other people from the community receive some similar messages or identical messages. And this is why yesterday, for example, I shared on Storyline and I asked you if some of you or any of you had dreams like I had in the last week. And in shamanism, by the way, usually we look if 1 person, 2, 3 person has the same dream. Okay, that gives us some question mark. Okay, like what can be the message behind, or why more people is receiving the same message. But yesterday, after I shared and asked you about if you had any dreams like that, maybe 8, 9 people wrote that they had similar dreams. And this is the time, and this is why I felt it's important that to share this message, is to let's make us to pay attention more to this message. And I will share some of the messages like people were sharing with me. The first message was from a man who said that he was dreaming with some Polish soldiers who were coming on train tracks with some Romanian cops. And at that moment, he could sense that something bad is happening. People around him didn't react to it, yet he started to run home to his family. It wasn't possible to give cause because the soldiers would identify where people are, so they could be caught. On the way home, he needed to go across the bridge where there were other people who were severely panicked and desperate because they didn't have trust in anybody around themselves, and they tried to protect themselves to survive. Meantime, he tried to swim in the water to can arrive home to his family, but meantime he also had the feeling like he has no mouth and he must scream. He would want to scream and run, yet he couldn't. Like he felt like as a force was pulling him back. The second dream was from one of my friends with who I worked in the past in shamanism. And she was just short. She just said that she was dreaming with military too, who were trying to contain a massive explosion. The third dream, this one was an interesting one because this woman started to follow me just last night on Instagram. Probably he could hear from somebody else about that I shared about dreams. So she just wrote me in a personal message that she had similar dream. For fun, she was dressing up as a soldier, and she had some soldiers around her. And the soldiers observed that she's not a real soldier. So she started to, when she realized that they realized that she's not a real one, she started to run, and they started to run after her. She didn't have a feeling of a war in the dream yet. She was truly exhausted when she woke up. Also she was sharing that some of her friends, her friends, they didn't have dreams, but more like visions, like daytime visions, when we receive, let's say, pictures, thoughts in our mind. And she was saying that some friends had sort of saw visions about weapons, about fear, and about soldiers being hard on people. And another friend said that she was seeing herself as a nurse and that she was treating wounds of soldiers. And also she added in this morning that she had a picture that she was making love with a Russian soldier. And another friend of her was saying that he saw himself in a rifle pit, a man who usually didn't have any contact with this field. A fourth dream, this was from a friend, from a colleague from my ex-workplace, and she said that her mom received some dreams with some dystopian image of her walking in a city, and she was telling me, those old communist buildings, they were all in ruin and deserted, and no one was around anymore. Just walking from apartment to apartment, seeing people's old stuff laying around, and it was just like after a war or something like that. Like the feeling of the dream was really death and destruction. From the same source, she said, so she had another dream that she was chased by agents, gray agents, through blocks, through ruins, and through dark streets, agents of some organization, and the only way one could escape was through flying. So these were the dreams and the visions received yesterday from you. My dream, because I didn't share just very shortly yesterday, my dream was two dreams actually. The first one was I was in Cluj, and I was hiding with a group of people in a place, and I just saw myself that I opened the door where I was, and I looked out and I saw the soldiers were shooting on people, and that people were very desperate and very panicked. After this, I had another night when I had a dream in my home. Actually, I was in my hometown in the dream time, and I was seeing myself that I was coming home from a store, and when I wanted to go across the street, 3 huge eagles were flying so down, like in a very low way. And usually when having eagles for dreams, that's something it really shows me to pay attention to the message. It's like it's an important message. So I was walking home, and when I was walking home, I was seeing that we are hiding. This is another, in a way, another group of people. Like we are hiding, but we are in a way a secret group, and again, like. In a way, like people outside wanted to try us to get food, because we knew that it's not easy to get food at that time. And also in another picture, I was again seeing soldiers that they were shooting, and they were running after people and looking for people. So this was my second dream. And the reason I'm sharing this right now is I would not want at all to induce panic or fear, because probably for the first sight would be like, oh my God, what will happen, or what we can do in this way. But as I said, as in ancient times, people were receiving messages to be prepared, to not be taken by surprise. So I would say two things it's very important at this time is to like shelter and food. So always be not just physically, it's good to think on this, but first let's let the mind think on in extremes, okay? That what if this can happen? So what I need then? Again, food and shelter. So food, what you can just really stock up in your pantry. Like I would say that the best is canned food, is rice, is beans, what can really, it's okay to stay a longer time. And shelter, like a place, let's say your flat, your, where you feel safe and protected if anything happens. And the reason also I'm sharing this, because I feel, especially in the last 2 years, and I'm watching this in a way, that we were trained here in the mind, and in a way, I would say the best word is trained, to be comfortable and to live from one day to another. Okay, and this is really outside of that mind frame, that what if something happens which you are not prepared of. This is why, for example, this time, like sharing this with you, is good just to have it in the background and being prepared for any case. Because I'm just looking back at the beginning of the pandemic situation, when everybody got panicked and the shelves with the food was just empty. So you couldn't really find food for a little while. Yeah. And beside this, I would say that this is also a good reminder that let's put back more power to us, and let's trust more ourselves. Let's trust more our dreams, our visions, our thoughts, our images, what we are receiving. Also shared last night in the post what I shared with you, that actually this period is a very good opportunity to even look deeper into what is happening in the background of what we can see. So we can do like a collective practice or exercise where each of us setting the intention before sleep that I would love to receive more of the truth, what it's about these dreams, or what we need to see more about it, like what is happening globally. And then allow yourself to be open to receive those messages. And also it's a good practice in the morning, because usually I hear that, and it's also happening with me, that we forget the dreams. And at that time, like for example in the morning, like we can call back. Usually I'm doing just, okay, I would love to remember my dreams. Sometimes it's happening that I can remember, sometimes it's not, and that it's okay. So with this also, like, I would love to share that if any of you, didn't really trust or didn't pay attention, but maybe received some kind of dreams like that, this is a good time to just pay attention more to it. And also, if you feel so, you are welcome to share your dream, in private message with me. Yeah. So this is pretty much about it, and I will keep like a line on this topic, and let's see what else comes up, and I will keep share this with all of you. Also, I would love to ask you, by the way, because I'm seeing when on the storyline appears, like I'm posting pretty things, like something which it doesn't have, like, let's say, such importance, that there is, like, I observed on the statistic, there is so much of, attention on it. But when it's happening something like this, and I'm sharing because it's an important message, it's like I'm receiving, and probably has to do with the censorship, okay? And this is the way, like, I would love to ask you to share this message, share it with your friends, with your family. Let's make this message to really go out, because this is the only way we can make people, in a way, know about it, or at least pay attention, or have it in the background, of their mind, that this, we never know, this can happen. So yeah, share it, and thank you for all the people who share their dreams with me, and let's stay in contact. Have a good day. Bye bye.